So it's crazy that I haven't talked about Naruto on this channel yet because I was a pretty big fan of Naruto. As a kid, I was there for its first run on Cartoon Network, bought trading cards for the game, followed the manga any way I could, and obviously played a lot of the video games. The Naruto series has released so many games over the past 20 years, especially in the early 2000s at the start of its massive increase in popularity. A good chunk of these games were made for handheld consoles. In fact, the first ever Naruto game was created for the WonderSwan Color, an often forgotten console released as a major competitor to the Game Boy Color and the impending Game Boy Advance. However, this started to slow down during the Nintendo 3DS era, with only 2 titles being released on the console: the spin-off title Naruto Powerful Shippuden and the often forgotten Naruto Shippuden 3D, the New Era, which was the only game representing the main series proper on the console. And to be fair, 2 games is more than the PlayStation Vita had, unless we count crossovers like Jump Victory Versus. The New Era was a very early 3DS game, releasing only a month after the console's release in Japan, and man does it look like an early release title. I feel like Powerful Shippuden has a reason to exist, given it's covering the Rock Lee and his Ninja Pals spin-off that up until that point did not have any games. And don't get me wrong, Powerful Shippuden has a lot of the same flaws as the New Era, but you want to play a game like Powerful Shippuden if only just to see how well they translated its art style onto the 3DS. It's got charm and a sense of humor that helps make it stand on its own, whereas the New Era had a major issue hanging over its head. The mainline fans were starting to grow with this series, just like the characters, and an ultra-generic 2D platform is not something a teenager like me would have cared about in 2011, especially when you could get more focused, action-packed gameplay out of games like the Ultimate Ninja Storm games and the soon-to-be released Ultimate Ninja Impact on the PSP. These felt like they were matching the cool factor of the series. And the New Era was never released in North America, though it got a European release. Games like this are always interesting, as I wonder what was the major factor preventing a North American release, given it was already translated to English. The game's title is also fascinating to me, as the English title of The New Era implies promise of the future, whereas the Japanese title Shinobi's Return, the final chapter, makes it seem like the end of the line. I guess the publishers and developers knew the writing was on the wall for this brand of licensed shonen anime games, because outside of the spin-off game we got with Powerful Shippuden, this would be the last game in this specific style to release, all the way back in 2011. I couldn't tell if this was technically a Ninja Council game or not, and it doesn't seem like the fandom can agree either, but either way, you're losing a lot from the Ninja Council series, with only Naruto as a playable character and Sasuke as a hidden unlock. The first thing that stood out to me was just how generic everything in the game felt, especially the environments. Platformers like Ape Escape 3 or the most recent Astrobot show examples of making environments feel unique and engaging. The environments in New Era are technically based around locations in the greater world of Naruto, like the village hidden in the sand and the village hidden in the mist, but without iconography, they essentially turn into generic desert or forest environments. The story is also pretty generic. As with a lot of Naruto filler, the setup is one you've heard of. An original character ninja has appeared and wants vengeance on the Hidden Leaf or something. In the case of this story, this original character ninja has replaced all of the Kages with puppet versions of themselves and is using them to start a war between the nations. And as you can guess, the plot beats go exactly how you think. Journey to said Kage's village, explain to underling that the Kage is a puppet, fight said underling, fight the main Kage, rinse and repeat. I mean this very sincerely when I say you're not going to care about the plots. You're just not. Well, maybe the gameplay fares better? The mechanics themselves aren't necessarily broken or anything. The things that you want to do in this game do work, and it has a lot of things you might ask from this type of game, like character assists and special moves. But none of these features had me thinking, wow, that was cool, I'm glad to be playing this game. And so you have to ask yourself, why are you playing this game? Is it because the gameplay is engaging and fun or transformative? Or are you playing it because it's a Naruto game set in a Naruto universe? That is a question I legitimately had to ask myself. You can run past most enemies in this game without even fighting them too. In fact, there's like zero incentive to actually fight enemies. As far as I could tell, you don't even earn anything by defeating enemies, and progression of abilities is just something that comes by getting to the end of the level. There's just no substance to this. I think this game's biggest sin is looking and feeling like a licensed anime game on the Nintendo 3DS. It exists because there needed to be a Naruto game on the console. It's not a dumpster fire, but it's also not engaging or fun. It's mindless and it's boring. It's not even really worth a curiosity purchase in my opinion. There are other games in the Naruto franchise that I feel fit in the same bucket, like Akatsuki Rising and Naruto vs Sasuke DS, and maybe in the future I'll talk about these games. Anyway, if you enjoyed me talking about this game, feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. I talk primarily about Dragon Ball here, but I'm trying to expand to other anime and topics. Thank you for watching, and bye!